Oh, good. I actually did not want to speak to you.
Well, if you're going to make a complaint on me, I guess I'm the only one you can talk to. There's nobody else in the office that you can talk to about it.
I got you. So filing a complaint on you is I have to file the complaint with you.
It's kind of the way it works.
Okay, so what's the
I'll
process?
be happy to talk to you.
What's the process? Do I come down to the sheriff's office again to file a formal complaint, or is there a form?
You can talk to me right here. I mean, that's.
Well, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna speak to you, and I'm gonna file a formal complaint.
That's fine. What's your complaint?
It's basically on how your demeanor and your behavior was when me submitting a form, just an FOIA request.
Yeah. No, you, Dakota. I apologize if we stepped off on the wrong foot. I'm
going to stop you right there. We didn't step off on the wrong foot. Your sergeant was completely professional to the point of he was great. You had no horse in this race at all. You put yourself in there already aggressive. I was speaking to the sergeant, and you just came up aggressively, and you assumed that I was trying to try my case in a parking lot. And when I told you that, even the sergeant said it's just this FOIA request. You even said, my bad. I thought you were trying your case. And you didn't even decide to understand that you made a complete fool of yourself, how you assumed what it was and how you approached it and left your sergeant to do his job. You proceeded to still continuously be aggressive the entire time, disrespectful the entire time.
Dakota, can I stop you and apologize?
I don't want your apology because I'm telling you, I'm filing a formal complaint for this because
you can file a complaint. I apologize. I'll tell you, there's no excuse for it, but I'll tell you that we have been since yesterday when you called and talked to my chief deputy. He called me and told me about the phone call and everything, and I said we can't really discuss a whole lot other than if he's complaining about the officer's demeanor on the traffic stop. But as far as the active case is concerned, we can't tank the case and discuss it with him. He has to try that in court. And I just assumed wrongly that you were still out there trying to try the case. And I was wrong, and I apologize. So, that's what I would make my officers do in a situation like this, and that's what I'm doing. So I apologize for assuming that you were trying to try the case in the parking lot and circumvent the court process. It's not what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not. I'm having the conversation here, and I'm wanting to file. I'll come by tomorrow again, since as you said, obviously I don't live that far away that I can take time out of my day to come handle these things.
Right.
I'm going to come by and I am going to file a formal complaint, and I'm going to attach it with all my stuff because, like I told the sergeant out there, is that I understand everything again. Because I'm former LEO of 6 years. I've done nothing but traffic enforcement for 6 years. I've done everything. I understand that my long hair and my beard, I probably look as if I'm probably not that intelligent. But at the same time, as soon as I come out and I start explaining this is just an FOIA request, because I say that, hey, pacing is not very reliable, and just off of me informing that officer of this, he decides to give me 2 different speeds and then write me for a whole different one. It's not appropriate.
Again, all that, I'm not going to get into any
conversation. I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying is, when I come by there to file an FOIA request, which it's a completely separate entity to the court process. So the idea of, like you said,
it's actually not.
For Virginia law, it's actually it's.
Well, no, we deal with FOIA all the time, and anytime there's an active case and you're filing a FOIA about an active case, you have to go through the discovery process. You still get the information either way.
Yes, but the idea of a FOIA request is separate. A FOIA request is separate because it's not the same entity as a court case. It's not.
You're filing a FOIA request about an active case. That's where it's different.
That's perfectly fine.
You don't have to have a reason.
That's perfectly fine. I'll submit a whole different request tomorrow. I understand that. I'll submit a whole different request again tomorrow with the same things, and I'll change it to instead of being for court proceedings, for being for personal use.
You're going to get the information either way.
That's fine. I'm explaining to you that I understand that the whole process of it. I understand how this is all going on about it. I understand all this stuff. But my thing is that I'm not going to sit here like how I've spoken with the major, I even spoke with the sergeant, is that I've done nothing but my entire life for 30 years except serve the community. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, disabled veteran. I was law enforcement for 6 years, worked in state prisons for 3 years. I've done nothing but serve my community, and I'm not even from Virginia. I've had no interactions with Virginian law enforcement, none. And the moment that I come up there to file a simple request for information with your agency, who's my first agency with Virginia to deal with, you completely, as the sheriff, at the face of your department, act the way you did, especially without a body camera on yourself, recording how you're behaving. That speaks volumes to like your level of integrity to me. That's what my problem here is. My problem is not with the court proceeding.
I don't know what you want me to say to you.
I don't want anything from you. I didn't want to speak to you about this.
You're trying to try this case out of a parking lot, and I realized that you were not.
No, I don't want anything from you. I want to have this all documented in a formal document.
I would suggest that you probably, for the sake of when this thing goes to trial, you probably need to stop talking about the details of the case.
I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want you to sit there and try to tell me if it's my best interests. Okay, I don't need you to tell me that. If it goes to trial, if it doesn't go to trial, that's not the purpose of this complaint. The complaint here. I don't know why you keep bringing this up. I don't know why you keep bringing up the court proceeding, because the court thing is a completely separate entity to what my complaint is. My complaint.
It's not. That's what you're trying. You're filing a FOIA request, requesting information, sir, about the case.
At what part of my complaint that I'm going to be filing on you about your behavior and your demeanor? What does that have to do with my case? What does that have to do with it?
Are we talking about that now, or are we talking about your FOIA request?
All I have said is how you have behaved, how you behaved in person.
I apologize.
And I've told you I don't want your apology. I didn't even want to speak to you.
Then that's the extent of the complaint.
I needed to know what the process of filing a formal complaint with you
I
guys
just told
is.
you. You're talking to me, sir.
So you don't no.
I will issue something back saying I apologize for assuming you were trying to try the case in the parking lot here.
It's illegal.
That's not how it is. I will come down. I will come by there tomorrow, and I will sit down and file a formal complaint
Written.
in writing, and I will get a copy of it for myself, and then you go ahead and handle it the way you need to handle it per your policies and procedures. But the simple fact is you completely made a complete childish act of yourself the entire time when you have no idea who I am. You have no other interaction with me besides what your major tells you.
With all due respect, it doesn't matter who anybody is.
Then that's even worse. That it doesn't matter who anybody is. It doesn't. That makes it even worse, because how would you be treating other people? There was no case being tried in your parking lot.
You're touching the fringes of that. You were having the same conversation.
Your sergeant asked me details about it because he needed to know for the FOIA request. Again, you're just stepping over this because you don't want to sit there and that's all it is. That's all this is. Again, you even say the same. You even say that it doesn't matter who somebody is.
Do you know what this looks like?
I'm excited to hear this.
No, I'll tell you what this looks like. It looks like you got a speeding ticket and you're right around a rigger because you got a speeding ticket. Okay? Let's just be honest here.
No. Again, this phone call has nothing to do with my speeding ticket.
Because I can tell you every member of this agency knows about this by now.
Okay.
Obviously, when this kind of thing happens, you're in law enforcement. You understand how this works. We all kind of want to protect ourselves from that guy, right? That you pull over, that is gonna do what you're doing now.
What do you mean protect yourselves? What do you mean protect yourselves?
Sir, you worked traffic for 6 years. You're reconstructionist. You know all this stuff.
I'm fully aware of this, but the way you're wording this right now is like you're saying that your entire department has to protect yourselves from that guy.
I can word things a certain way, but you can't.
What have I worded to you, except for my displeasure of how you behaved?
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how kind of things are, and that's what you're kind of telling me how things are on your end.
All I have said to you.
I'm going to protect my people when they're right, and my people in this situation is right.
I have not said anything during this entire situation. Again, we're not talking about my speeding case.
Ethically wise, they're right. Behavioral wise, they're right. I'm going to protect them. And I know that a lot of times in law enforcement, you don't have that anymore, but you have that here.
I'm telling you is that this entire complaint has nothing to do with my case. This entire phone call, and you keep making it about the case.
You can come file a formal complaint against me, and I will tell you that I apologize for assuming that you were trying to try the case in the parking lot. Okay? But if I hurt your feelings, I can't change that. And you're not going to get me to say anything other than that. My integrity is way too strong for that. Your feelings are hurt. And I apologize that your feelings are hurt, but I'm not going to apologize for hurting them. Okay? Man up, come to court, and have your case tried. That's all I'm telling you to do. You got pulled over, you got a speeding ticket. You're an adult. Live with it. Live with it.
If you're done talking down to me right now, I'll go ahead and if you would stop interrupting me, and I'll cut the conversation short so I can come by there tomorrow. I'm going to explain to you is that my complaint has nothing to do with my citation. I have no complaints about how the officer handled the traffic stop. I have no complaints about how your sergeant handled my FOIA request. I said to your major yesterday that I explained to your officer that, hey, based on my experience, pacing is not a very reliable speed enforcement. And even your major said, yeah, well, you know how it is. Why are you interrupting me again, sir? Why do you keep interrupting me?
I think you're trying to show up to try to get us to drop the ticket.
No, I have no problem going to court for this stuff. Why do you keep interrupting me?
We all think here that you're trying to call everybody you can call.
I don't care who you call or what you guys think of me. I don't understand why you keep interrupting me.
I think we're pretty clear that you're trying to get us to drop a ticket. That's
never
going to happen.
I don't understand why you keep interrupting me when I'm trying to explain the point of my actual complaint. When you keep bringing up everything else about my case, when you even say that we're not going to try my case in a parking lot, that's not what my complaint's about. My complaint is, again, look at how you're behaving on this phone call. Look at how you behaved in person. And you sit here and talk down to me, telling me to man up and go to court.
That's exactly right. I am telling you that because you're crying about getting a speeding ticket.
I'm crying now.
You call this lieutenant supervisor, the major, okay, talking about the issue. We understand that. Okay?
Yes.
We told you what you needed to do.
Yes, and I'm doing all of it. I'm doing all of it. But why is it whenever I come down there, everybody at your agency except you
trying to get us to drop a ticket? We're not doing that.
I'm not saying you are.
I can't come up here from North Carolina.
I'm not saying you are. I'm telling you is all your other officers and deputies that I've had interactions with have been incredibly professional. You, as the face of your department and head of your department.
It didn't sound that way on the phone with my major the other day.
Yeah, I spoke to your major and I was upset because at the same time, even your major says, well, yeah, it sounds like you talked yourself into a ticket. That's completely just disrespectful as LEO to say that to somebody. And even he says, I don't typically write people speeding tickets over 10 miles an hour. I'm not here complaining about the speeding ticket. I don't care about the speeding ticket.
I don't think our conversation is going in.
That's fine. I'm recording this whole conversation anyway, and I'm going to go ahead and post it on your social media. That's fine.
Do what you got to do, mister.
Because I'll be down there tomorrow, and I'll file a formal complaint. And if you want to try to intimidate me or talk down to me again, that's fine.
You have a good evening. Take care of yourself. We're going to have to agree to disagree.
I'll see you tomorrow.